Well, look, I think council has to be a balance between experience and wisdom, maturity that often comes with a long career and a long life working in the community, together with that other end of the spectrum of young people who will bring fresh ideas, will bring renewed enthusiasm and vigour and passion that of course we expect in all our councillors. But I think getting the balance right is very important, and unless you have a council that's prepared to embrace change, particularly to embrace the different people who are moving and living in our community, then we will continue to do the same and we will not be meeting their needs. I mean, we've got a community in Orange that consists of very diverse people. We've got a lot of socially disadvantaged people, we've got people from different cultural backgrounds, and it's very important that we understand their differences, their special needs, and so councillors need to be able to relate to those people. And we've got people of huge demographics from, of course, young people, young children, families, young families, and an ageing population. And so it's important that when we present candidates to the people of Orange, we can say, look, here is a team that reflects some age differences. I'm certainly at the higher end of that, and some young people who are either single and who have got young families. And they are able to have a very good understanding of what people that they can relate to want from our council.
Do you think Orange City Council is doing enough for the young people of this community?
Look, there are certainly some issues regarding the youth in any community, and Orange is no different. There will be opportunities as a city grows, and we do have growth taking place that is providing those opportunities, but probably they're not equally being spread around the community. So there is a disadvantaged section of young people, many of them who are unemployed, many of them who don't have somewhere to go and to share their energies and dismays and problems and issues with people who can provide guidance. So despite Orange City Council having a youth program and that actively involved in providing a range of facilities, whether it be the sporting grounds or BMX track, skate park and so on, it's perhaps not going far enough. And there is a section in the community who perhaps are socially disadvantaged, who live in East Orange, who do not have the same access to some of those facilities. So I'd love to see a youth facility dedicated to the people in Glenroy, for example, where they can gather together under guidance and supervision, particularly after school, during school holidays, and also for the teenagers who are simply often blamed for wandering the streets aimlessly. Now, whether that youth centre, and it has been talked about, can be in the middle of town, and I think one is proposed for the Mulder Park precinct. But I would argue that there is a greater need in some of the more socially disadvantaged parts of Orange.
Do you think the Greens can play a role in bringing youth to the fore in this city?
Well, I think the council obviously needs to have councillors that can relate to the needs of young people. We can do that in one of two ways. Either a councillor can be very heavily involved in a range of youth activities in the community themselves, or they are able to have a relationship with the people who run the different groups. So I think once you've got your head around that sort of involvement, either direct or indirect, then anyone can make change. And I think it's probably easier if you are younger and you can have a direct involvement, and people can look up to you as a councillor and say, hey, that person he's on our side, he's representing us and is going to advocate for the youth of Orange.
But will they respond to the green message?
Well, I think young people generally are very in tune with what might be considered the green message. And the green message is about caring for country. It is about caring for individuals. It is about caring for people who are disadvantaged and have special needs. It's not just about trees and green spaces. That's all part of it, because that all leads to a healthy environment in which people can live and grow and have personal development. So the Greens do have a very special message to young people, and I think young people generally are more responsive to that message than quite a lot of other people in the community. I've been on council for one term. I hope that I've demonstrated to the community that I've made a commitment to my role as a councillor. I've considered that I've almost been a full-time councillor, and I've given all my energy into working with all the wide-ranging council committees and understanding the needs of the community and speaking up for them when it was necessary if I felt that their voice wasn't being heard. So I think I've demonstrated that, but also I have a vision for Orange, and that it is in fact an all-inclusive city that enables us to ensure that we all benefit from the growth that's taking place, and that we can provide a healthy, vibrant, if you like, environment that families feel safe and secure in, that they can go about their daily life, whether it be on the roads or on the footpaths, that we look after all of that infrastructure, and that we make sure that the development that is taking place still provides a quality of life that people expect, that they are not impacted upon by inappropriate development, and at the same time, where we need development to provide special needs, whether it's for affordable accommodation with a lower cost, more intensive nature of accommodation, that we plan very carefully for that.
You're running a ticket of 6 people at a time when there are questions being raised in Orange as to whether the ticket system should be abandoned for elections.
Well, I think if we were in an ideal democracy, we would say that the ticket system might not be necessary, because everyone would have an equal opportunity to put themselves forward. They would not be dependent upon excessive financial requirements to be able to offer themselves, and that can inherently be the problem with a non-ticket system, that someone who has got the skills and talents and interests and a commitment to want to serve the community as a councillor, but they might not either have the high enough public profile and they do not have the capacity to put themselves out in the media simply for want of the necessary resources to do that as an individual. So the ticket system then does provide an opportunity where new people, fresh faces, someone with the right attributes, and but not currently having a high profile, can link up with someone who does have a higher profile as part of a team where they share the same interests and the same vision for the city, and they have a chance of being elected because of that.